I think that's important.
All right, Kendrick Perkins joining us now. Perk, good to see you. I will get to you in just a second. So you heard him, fellas, 2-0, able to focus on basketball in Kyrie's absence. Stephen A., should the Nets want Kyrie back?
I'm going to say yes. I'm not going to disrespect Kyrie like that. We know that he's a superstar talent. We also know he's a headache. It's a distraction every single year, but it's never been a distraction of this magnitude. The first year was injuries and speculation that he didn't want to play without KD, and then obviously dissuading people from playing in the bubble. The second year, he disappears for a couple of weeks, and he needs an emotional break because of the riots at the U.S. Capitol before getting caught partying with his family. Last year, it was the vaccine, and, that's different. This is different because this is a tsunami of criticism if it's of a highly sensitive nature. Obviously, you insulted the Jewish community. And as a result, you created a maelstrom of controversy, and there is no getting around that. And so
Stephen A. is the most hypocritical black man that I've ever seen in my life. See, guys, it's not the Uncle Tom you have to worry about, but it's the Sambo. The Sambo's in the field with you, pretending to be your friend, laughing, joking with you, gathering information. And then he goes back to Massa and tell Massa all your plans. That's what I'm saying. That's how the Sambo is. It's not the Uncle Tom. It's the Sambo you have to watch out for. Like I said, he's going back to the house telling Massa all your plans. See, Stephen A. here is saying that the Nets, he's saying something good about Kyrie, saying that the Nets should invite Kyrie back. But in the same breath, disrespects Kyrie, saying that he's a distraction. He's been a distraction from the beginning. I mean, can't have blessings and curses in the same breath. It's either one or the other. It's good or bad, up, down. That's the law. So like I said, here Stephen A.'s talking, saying something good, and then totally disrespecting to Kyrie for sticking up for his belief. I mean, so what? He was trying to persuade people for not playing in the bubble. That's what he wanted to do. I mean, he didn't want to take the COVID vaccine. So here you're criticizing the man, Stephen A., saying he's a distraction from the beginning because he has beliefs, convictions that he holds strong to. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like a man who has convictions, who stands up for something. And you criticizing this man for that, saying that he was a distraction from the beginning. Like, come on. And then he goes on to say that he disrespected the Jews, the Jewish community, or saying he insulted the Jewish community, but never broke down on how he insulted the Jewish community. Pay attention, guys, how these people always saying that Kyrie is an anti-Semitic or he disrespected the Jewish community, but they never break down on what he did. I mean, they never break it down. It's like everyone's just going with the program. So Stephen A. is mad at Kyrie for screenshotting a movie documentary title and posted it on his Twitter. And you say he insults the Jewish community or he's promoting anti-Semitism. But let's see how Stephen A. reacts to a white boy who promotes anti-Semitism for the original Jews, the black people. Let's take a look, guys, and see that Stephen A. did nothing. Let's do the comparison on how he treated Kyrie when he says he promotes anti-Semitism versus a white boy who promotes anti-Semitism, who's actually promoting anti-Semitism on the original man. Let's see.
So Villanova's Final Four hero taking some heat for some old social media posts on Twitter that contain several tweets using the N-word and other derogatory terms for gay people. Stephen A., is the criticism of DiVincenzo fair or foul?
It's very foul. And and let me be the first to say, there's moments like this where I'm ashamed to be a part of this industry. So let me get this straight.
Okay.
This dude is spewing lyrics from a Meek Mill rap song about Derrick Rose when he was 14 years.
Look at the hypocrisy, guys. Look at the hypocrisy of Stephen A. I mean, look at the words that he's using. I mean, this white kid directly promoted a rap song that's not conducive for the black community and repeated a derogatory statement or a derogatory lyric that's used towards black people to degenerate or to degrade black people. And here Stephen A. is sticking up. I don't care if he was 14 or not. I don't care. That 14-year-old kid know exactly what that word means. He know exactly what it meant. But here Stephen A. is getting mad at Kyrie for just taking a screenshot of a documentary and posted it. And everyone's mad saying he's promoting it. But here this white boy actually says it, tweaks the derogatory term that's anti-Semitic. And Stephen A. is sticking up for him and saying this is foul. So what's the difference between him and Kyrie? This is what I'm saying, guys. Watch out for these Sambos. Watch out for them. I mean, Stephen A. is sticking up for this white kid as if this white kid was his son. And he gets mad at Kyrie and saying Kyrie is a distraction for posting the title of a movie. He never said any statement, never said any derogatory term towards the converts of the Jewish people because they are converts. He never said anything out. He never repeated anything from the movie, the documentary. But here this kid uses the N-word, uses lyrics, uses something that promotes death, and uses the N-word, the derogatory term, and Stephen A. sticks up for him. Guys, this is what I'm saying, the disrespect, guys. Pay attention to your own people, the disrespect that Stephen A. has towards another black man. This has to stop. But has so much sympathy for a white kid. But this is what Dr. Claude Anderson talks about in his book, Pyronomics, when he talks about meritorious manumission. If you guys get a chance, look that word up. It's called meritorious manumission. M-E-R-T-I-O is meritorious manumission. M-A-N-U-M-I-S-S-I-O-N. It's when a black person got compensated for either degrading or turning another black person in. They got rewarded for that, for snitching on a black person, for keeping tabs on a black person. They got points for that from the white man during the 1800s, 1900s, called meritorious manumission. And Dr. Claude Anderson talks about it in his book, Pyronomics. And it goes on today, guys. The Whittier Lynch letter is real. Meritorious manumission is real. Look how Stephen A., look how this white kid promotes something that's negative that degrades black people, and he's sticking up for this kid. Kyrie just posts the title of a documentary, and he gets all this kickback. You know what I'm saying? So, but Stephen A., he's doing his job. He's getting paid for, he's supposed to do that. He's getting paid. So you got to watch these celebrities. Don't trust these celebrities, guys. Just pay attention to them. Read, and they will show you who they are. The hypocrisy of Stephen A. Let's continue.
On the night that he wins the most outstanding player award for a sensational performance in a national championship game. Now we bring that up. See, it's moments like this where when folks generalize and they say stuff like the media this and the media that, you know what? It's moments like this where I don't blame them. This is a disgrace. Now, clearly, I'm not advocating the use of the N-word. Let's not be hypocrites here. There's folks in my community, myself included, who have used it on many occasions in the past. And obviously,
here Stephen A. is saying, it's okay. It's okay. You know, I've used the N-word before. Me and my friends, we've used it before. So it's okay for this white kid to use the N-word and spread this derogatory term that he has no business using. It's okay, but I know as black people we shouldn't use it, but since we use it, they can use it also. Let's get real. Let's get real, Stephen A. Let's get real. Kyrie screenshots the title of a documentary and you call him a distraction and saying that he insulted the Jews by being anti-Semitic. Let's be real, Stephen A. It's not okay for the white kid to use that word. It's not okay for any black man to use the N-word because it's derogatory. We've been through too much and we got a long way to go. For you to go up there and offend this kid to say it's okay, it's just unsettling. It's unsettling. And for you to have that much hate for, I don't want to say hate, but self-hate for Kyrie for just posting a title of a documentary. And this white kid actually says the term, the derogatory term, and you don't think is anything wrong with that? It's sad.
Have to veer away from. There's youngsters out there who shouldn't be using the word so loosely. We get all of that. We should be eradicated from language. Like John Wooten said, I get all of that. But the reality of the situation is the world that we're living in, particularly with the music and the lyrics that accompany it, it's something that happens. This kid is...
So here, listen to what Stephen A. just said. He said something that was very, very significant. He just said that the world we live in with the words and the lyrics. So you are admitting that there is a deaf culture that promotes the deaf and the derogatory use of a word that promotes the death of a people, of black people to be specific. You are admitting that, and nothing is being said. No one is talking about that on ESPN. No one is talking about that on First Take. No one is talking about that on Undisputed. But the moment Kyrie takes a screenshot of a documentary, it's a problem. Why is it a problem? What are they afraid of? Are they afraid of people waking up to finally realize who they are so they can get their stuff together, so they get their minds in order, to become very productive citizens so they can own something, so they can get back on their feet? Or do they want to keep people under, keep their knees on their neck, like how they did George Floyd, which is symbolic of how white America does black people and people of color? Like, let's keep it real. Like, he just admitted that there's a promotion of demeaning of a culture. And no one said it's not, but it's okay when it's black people. But here you make up this long Kyrie because he screenshotted a title of a documentary. And it's a problem. And Stephen A., you disrespect him? Like, really?
14 years old at the time, 7 years ago. And on the night that he wins the national championship and wins the most outstanding player of the year, the outstanding player of the tournament award, okay, you're going to bring this up then. Judging him as an adult, not remembering that he was a kid, not remembering that it was just 7 years ago. We want to throw that out, but we want to treat him and hold him accountable on arguably the greatest night of his life. There are moments in time where we have to sit up here and ask ourselves, are we more interested in making headlines or are we more interested in being a decent human being? This kid did not deserve that. I could have known about the tweet, and I am a black man, and I would have never asked him that question, particularly in that moment. It's a level of cruelty and just a lack of humanity that comes into the equation when you see somebody willing to do something like that to this kid. It is foul as it gets. It's disgraceful. And as far as I'm concerned, listen, don't do it again, DiVincenzo. Don't make that mistake again. But in the same breath, I'm not going to sit up there and use the night that this man wins a national championship game as a 21-year-old to hold him accountable for something that he spewed off of a rap album 7 years earlier. It's just ridiculous. It really is.
Look at the words that Stephen A. uses. Pay attention to the words that he used. He says the level of cruelty. He said it's disgraceful. It's foul. He's saying that this kid won the NCAA championship and that was the wrong time to ask him the question. But here when Kyrie finishes a game, when he's tired and he's at a press conference after the game, answering questions, and they come ask him all these questions about tweets, but they can do Kyrie like that. And it's not, it's okay. But when they ask this white kid after the game, when he won the NCAA championship, or why he spewed hate speech, or why did he promote Like what they said Kyrie did, he promoted a documentary, or why he promoted a death culture, and he tweeted it, word for word, verbatim. It's okay for them to do Kyrie like that, but they can't do DeFincio like that. They can't do him like that, but they can do Kyrie like that, right, Stephen A? Pay attention, guys. Pay attention to the words that Stephen A says. Like I said, he used the word foul, disgraceful, but they can do a black man like that. But the kid can get a pass. He can get a smack on the wrist. It sounds like the criminal justice system to me. The black man gets the harshest sentence, but the white kids gets the smack on the wrist. That's all I'm saying, guys. The hypocrisy in Stephen A. It's ludicrous, and this needs to stop. It needs to stop immediately.